Before we continue to follow the trail of George Washington along the Potomac River, we would like to review some previous history leading up to the mid-1700s. We all probably know, for example, that Christopher Columbus discovered the New World in 1492.
He caught the trade winds. It's a belt of winds that blow in this direction, and came over and landed an island in the Bahamas he called San Salvador. Which island that is today, we're not sure. He then went down to Cuba, which he called Juana, after the King and Queen of Spain's daughter. And then he went over to Hispaniola, where Haiti is. And there on Christmas Eve, 1492, the man that was supposed to be steering the ship took a nap and let one of the ship's boys steer the ship. Ship's boys are like 11, 12, 13 years old. They're not allowed to steer the ship. This ship's boy managed to steer the ship onto a reef where the ship got stuck. They couldn't get it off. It started leaking. So Columbus sent ashore to the local Indian chief, who brought out a bunch of big ocean-going canoes, and they took everything they could save off the Santa Maria, including a lot of the wood it was built with, and took it ashore, and they built a fort that they called La Navidad. So whatever's left of the original Santa Maria is somewhere off the north shore of Haiti, or ashore where they built the fort. Columbus then became captain of the Nina and met up with the Pinta. They went up back north, caught the westerlies, and blew back to Spain, and that was his first voyage.
Columbus had really only discovered a few islands in the New World on that first journey. It was Ponce de Leon who had sailed with Columbus and who discovered Florida, thereby claiming the entire continent for the King of Spain. Within a few decades, French explorers like Jacques Cartier had begun sailing down the St. Lawrence River, and before long, he claimed much of the same territory for France. Even back in those days, possession was 9/10 of the law. So when the English established a permanent settlement in Jamestown, they laid claim to places where they actually lived. Then the Dutch arrived in 1609 and claimed their part. Using the waterways to travel inland, the English and Dutch were able to occupy vast areas and still maintain communication with the Old World. By 1750, there were over 1 million settlers along the Atlantic seaboard.
This land is our mother. It gives us nourishment. It is our duty to protect her. We are the keepers. It is sacred to us. It is sacred to my people. The mountains, the rivers, the forest, the animals that dwell within were all given to us. And we take only what we need, no more. Unlike the whites, take more than they need and leave none for others. When did we become something less than a people that you treat us so? Your time to speak is now.
Somehow, the claims of the Native Americans seems to have been lost.